I'm good. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, okay?
Okay.
Well, actually, I've got 11 questions, but yeah.
I don't know whether I can answer 11 questions or not. I'll try.
Number one. When were you in poverty?
Was I in poverty?
Yeah.
Yes, I was. The whole family was. Me and my brother and my mother. My mother wasn't able to work, and my dad had to work in a coal mine. And it was hard for him to keep a job because the miners stayed on a strike most of the time. And when they strike, that means they won't let them work. So we had to just live on at least we had. And usually we had a 3-room bedroom house, just a kitchen and a living room and a bedroom for 4 people with 2 beds.
Hey, Dad, I got to go to a meeting. Lily's going to keep talking to you.
All right.
How old were you and what years?
What year I was 19 and 45. 1945.
Until when?
That was in the state of West Virginia.
Did it affect your ability to get an education?
No, it didn't because we were able to go to school, but we didn't have the best of things to go in. But a lot of the kids dropped out, but I made it, but I was able to get close some way or the other, and I finished school. And then when I finished high school, I worked in a service station, and I did little odd jobs, cut wood, plowed corn, and used mules named Julie and Kate to make gardens and things. So I worked and made up a little money and was able to get through high school and college.
Oh, what kinds of help were you would you have liked to have while you were in poverty?
What did I have?
No, Papa. Like, while you were in poverty, like, did you have any help?
No, I had to work it out. I had to make it, and of course it didn't cost that much. I did borrow some money, and that helped me through. And then when I got through school, I paid it back. And so that's the way I got it. And I also got a master's degree, and then 1 year beyond the master's. So I got 6 years of college. But after I got the 5th and the 6th, I was already teaching school. And so I went to school while I was teaching. And your grandmother here, she worked too and helped me through school. We both were going to school.
What in the short term and long term, what were like the effects of being in poverty, like while you were in poverty and like after you were in poverty?
Well, while I was in college, I had very good friends. Sometimes I would stay with them, and sometimes I would be able to stay at home. But my mother and my dad were separated, so I stayed here and yonder, and a lot of people knew me and helped me get through school. But I worked, and when I was going into the second year of college, I married your grandmother, and she worked to help me get through school.
Do you,
And I had an athletic scholarship too that helped me get through. You know what that is?
yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So like after you got out of college and like now, what's the difference between like when you were in poverty and when you weren't?
Well, we live pretty well now. We're probably in a middle class family, and we live pretty well. We have a nice home. We work to get it, and we're retired now, and we draw on unemployment that keeps us going. And we put in money while we worked, and that's what we live on now. And neither Nani or Papa, either one of us work now.
What did hunger? Oh wait. Why were you in poverty?
Well, there wasn't any work, and my dad and my mother weren't educated, and they just had to take up what work they could, like working in the mines. My mother worked in hospitals as a cleaning woman, and first thing like that, it's little odds and ends that came around for them to do it. And my dad moved away to Chicago and got a pretty good job, but I was already up and through school when he did that. So, but after we got through school, we lived pretty well.
What did hunger and poverty prevent you from doing?
Well, I didn't have the best of clothes, and I didn't have money to spend and do things that maybe some of the others do. But where we lived, we're in southern West Virginia, most all the families were that way. It was most of them lived back in the mountains, and the roads and things were bad, and it was just hard, but it got better starting in the 50s and the 60s. 1950 and 1950 I started into the high school part from the 9th grade. And 1954 I finished, and your grandmother was the same way. Nani was the same way. She was the same age, and we did about the same thing. I think she lived better than I did because her mother owned a restaurant, and she had a little bit more than I did. I'd say she had a lot of love.
Do you know, during that time, did you know of any organizations that helped alleviate poverty?
Well, there were, most of the people lived like I did. Some of them had more than I did. I could have gotten a job, but I wanted to go to school, and I wanted to get out of the poverty. I wanted to get away from that as much as I possibly could. But anybody that works and cares for work and make it go, they don't have to stay in poverty all the time. So we live pretty well now. You've lived with us, and you know what we can do.
Okay, here's the last question. What do you think?
Right.
What do you think of an organization that allows students to learn while donating rice?
What did you say now? I didn't understand you.
What do you think of an organization that allows students to learn while donating rice?
We didn't have any organizations like that then. We didn't have much people that could help us out a whole lot.
Yeah, the organization that I'm supposed to be talking about is called freerice.com, and it's an organization that you go online and then you answer like a question and then you instantly donate 10 grams of rice to people around the world in need?
Well, I help out people by sending them money each month or each year. They ask for it, and I write them a check and give it to them, mail it to them, especially to the Indians out in North and South Dakota and Utah, some in Colorado, and then I help boys and girls school.
Well, Papa, I've got to go to school.
All right, honey. Hope that helps you.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.